The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Café. This is the United Podcast Network.
If you're building or buying or selling a home, the Real Estate Crew's got news for you at the Real Estate House Party.
With attorney Rick Carter,
Real Estate House Party.
paralegal Kathy Holsthausen,
Real Estate House Party. Come in, have fun.
and comedian Tony V. Now, here's real estate attorney Rick Carter.
Welcome and thanks for joining us in the Real Estate House Party. We got so excited. We got a first-time guest here.
First-time guest.
Ed Sullivan.
Yes.
They know me, though.
They know
Yes.
you. as-
They know your voice.
Our intrepid producer.
I like being a disembodied voice.
Yes.
Well, it's kind of bittersweet because the reason we're having Ed Sullivan on is because he's moving on to greener pastures and leaving us.
He's
know what-
mo-
You know what makes
No.
the pastures
I know it's green. You
though?
tell us what greener pastures is like.
He's moving on to no pastures.
Right.
It's not like he's got anything
But
better
look at
to
his style.
do.
Look how happy
right.
he is.
Oh, it's-
I expect greener pastures. You're just sitting out there and doing the same thing.
Wouldn't you be happy if you didn't have to deal with us?
I'll be in the VIP section.
Yeah.
Right over
I'm
You
not
there.
sure
will
if there's
be the-
much room.
You will be the studio audience.
Yeah, you can already see I'm setting up over
Yeah.
there.
But you have Ben now taken over the reins of
He's
your.
quite capable.
Yeah, I'm
Does he
sure
have some
is.
background on this?
Well, yeah, he's an actual professional. I just
Really?
press the buttons and hope for the best.
No, you act like a professional. I
you
always
look like
thought
you knew what you were doing.
Yeah.
No, I know what I'm doing. Oh, believe
We
me.
know you do.
Nobody else knows he knows what he's doing, and that's his gift.
You actually were guests. This is your first time on our show, but you were
Yeah.
also on Dueling Comedians. Right?
Well,
Well,
no.
Well,
No.
Wilson. You did
Somebody
your
else.
Wilson impersonation. You
Well,
never saw
that's-
your face.
That's Laugh Track
That's
Larry.
Laugh Track
Laugh Track Larry.
He may or may not be
A lot of people get confused because
Yeah.
we sound so similar.
so similar. Right?
I mean, Larry speaks a little
A little-
little
differently.
slower, right?
slower.
More
Little bit.
deliberate.
Yeah, he thinks about what he says before he speaks.
Unlike Ed.
And like Ed, who just blurts shit out.
I do. And
Ed, we're gonna have a lot of questions for you, but I got.
Rick, I also prepped for the show.
Wow.
we did too.
Yeah,
More than any other guest has ever done.
Yep.
a blank piece of
I
paper.
was gonna write a few notes down before
It's
I
all
came in, but
It's
It's all right.
nice.
It's been kind of busy here at
it's been
Carter Law
busy.
Office.
I know, how comes that? What's going on with the rates?
Well, the rates have bumped down.
Another 0.5%
on the
on the prime.
Well, this
Yeah.
is the thing. The thing is, what we're seeing now in the interest rate
Yeah.
is it's hard to explain. The rates drop down in expectation of the prime being lowered.
I see.
So it's not going down lower and lower and lower after they drop prime. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Yes.
So it's already the rates that people are getting now is
is
in the
reflective of
yeah,
what's going to happen.
what's going
and
to
it's
happen.
reflective of
Tony,
the world economy.
As you know, the mortgage rates are not directly correlated
Correlated.
to the
Right.
prime.
Of course I know
Wow.
that. What do you think? I'm new?
No, but a lot of people don't know that.
I was just saying it for our studio
Oh,
audience.
right. Okay.
So if the prime goes down a half, that doesn't mean the regular rates go down.
No.
Is that what you two are telling me? Or
Yeah.
the three of you are telling
Yeah,
me.
but the
Is
rates
that true?
are at one of the all-time lows.
yeah.
Even
Okay.
though I probably have the best rate ever, but we won't talk
Whoa.
about
Talk
it.
about that.
Yeah.
That was
What did
Don't
you
talk
have to
about
do
that.
to get that rate?
Again, that's why we're not talking
Again,
about
it's a
it.
very big secret. It's one of my hidden talents.
All right.
You're not supposed to do that. But I thought when you got 3 7/8 for a 15-year fix was very promising.
Right.
Right. Exactly.
That sounds very promising.
That was very
It's
promising.
way lower than that.
Yes. It's because she locked in at the right time. Maybe everyone should call you at 603-537-0030 to see if you
Don't
can get-
ask for me though.
Oh, no.
'cause
Well,
I'm not
this
going to
week.
be there.
This week.
I'm
No.
not going to be there.
What did we decide? Should Kathy take the plane trip or not?
No.
No.
Well, I already made up my mind I am, but I was wondering if you guys thought I was crazy to do
Oh, yeah.
so.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Just bathe in Purell before you go.
I'll just be drinking alcohol in first
Oh,
class.
that'll kill
help.
anything.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I
Going
think,
first class.
Yeah.
I think we're about 8 months away from walking around in NASA spacesuits.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I want one of
yeah,
those.
Yeah.
It's coming soon with global warming and all the
And the
pandemic
sun, and the sun burning
yeah.
our skin.
What,
and
what
skin
about one of
cancer.
those cities covered with a dome?
like a dome. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be good.
Like
That'd
a
be
like a
fun.
Yeah, but then
bubble
you'd be
ball?
in. Yeah, but then you'd be in there, and there'd be one filthy person, and they would infect the whole dome.
Well, this is
There's
the
some
thing.
rules
Like
against
everyone's
filthy
like,
people?
No.
Can you
wash
say
your
something?
hands, wash your hands. Well, didn't you people wash your hands before?
No,
the
this is
coronavirus.
right. This is the whole problem is people won't wash their hands
That-
after they go to the bathroom.
Are you
Just
kidding me?
wash your hands.
And they have instructional videos on how to wash. your
Oh yeah,
hands.
we've all been washing our hands
All
wrong,
right,
by
all
the
right,
way.
all right.
Plus, I think this
all right.
desk might be where the
I know.
virus
I can
started.
see it. That's why my hands are here.
Yeah, my hands.
don't
Don't
worry.
touch it.
So there's actually an instructional video on how to wash your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
you got to
And-
do it right.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
do
Is
it.
that
Yeah, no,
to
you're
you
anyone
gonna
else?
sing-
I mean,
Are you
is it
going to
only
sing
me?
happy birthday
twice.
twice?
Happy birthday twice, and make sure you get the back of your hands in between your fingers and under your fingernails.
Right.
Oh. Wow.
Just, you know what? Everybody act like you just committed a murder.
That is a good piece of advice.
Right. If everybody just keeps that in the back of your head, you just committed a murder. You want no traces.
Why do the dead bodies always
That-
go in a shallow grave?
That,
Talk about it later
that's
time.
yeah.
So the other thing that a myth that we should bust is that if you don't want to catch the coronavirus or the flu, you should be wearing a mask. But it's really the people that are sick that should be wearing the mask.
Right.
Is that correct?
Yeah, so
Yes.
they're not
Right.
breathing on you.
So there was a guy at the gym last night that was coughing in my general direction.
Yeah.
And I was like beside myself.
You should be.
All the little droplets
Do the masks work?
He should have been wearing a mask.
He should have been wearing the suit, the NASA
The
suit.
NASA suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I'm
was
not sure.
mad. If I get sick, I'm going back to beat the
Yeah.
Go
crap
ahead.
out of him.
But I mean, you're at a gym. People
I know
touching
that
everything.
we were
and they're
looking
sweating
around.
on
Yeah,
it.
me and my friend were looking around, and we're like, "This is a breeding ground for
Yeah.
coronavirus."
Yeah, it is.
Some
Right.
people
Petri
wear
dish.
the gloves when they go to the gym.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
Yeah,
gonna
but then the
start
stuff's
doing
on
that.
the gloves.
Yeah, but that's okay.
But then
Yeah,
you,
it's
but
right,
then
it's
you
fine.
can't touch the gloves when you pull them off.
not-
Like that, you can't
it's-
just like
So
We
touch
go
them.
I go to-
crazy.
I go to a sub shop. They do the food with gloves, and then they go ring me up
with the gloves. But
hitting
then
the
they
numbers.
probably go back and change the.
I was looking.
Oh, you were looking for the
You
gloves.
studied it.
Yeah.
I studied it.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
that was my job for this podcast.
Yeah, it's like making out with a raw chicken.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, I don't do
You
That
that.
should
is
not
not
anymore.
No.
No.
No, why does anyone even eat chicken when you have to treat it like toxic
Sick
waste?
waste,
I know.
right, right.
I
It's like,
know.
well, why am I
Raw
gonna eat
chicken makes
that?
me
Right.
sick. Actually.
So we're thinking this would be a good show to have Ed Sullivan on. We're going to take it kind of easy today.
Yeah.
We're going to ask Ed
Really?
Sullivan.
As opposed to every other week?
Ed Sullivan, but it's
It
really
seems like we've been
Ed's-
talking 15 minutes, but it says the counter only says 4 minutes. So,
Yeah.
So Ed Sullivan,
ballpark. All right,
it's
that's
his
all right.
idea. It was his idea.
That's right.
Right.
So
Typically,
Because-
Rick writes the loose script for
Yeah,
our
which I have.
podcast.
Yep. Yep.
Today he didn't because we are busy,
And
and
I
Ed
decided
took the liberty.
I'm going to write down the top 10 things that
Top
I
10.
learned while producing this show.
Oh,
One of
wow.
them is you should say top several things, unless you think we're going to.
Right, we never say a
Well,
number.
we are.
Okay,
Is
then let's
number
go.
one comment on Kathy's hair. Is that number one?
Well,
No.
that was a comment to Ben.
Rick, you
Welcome
may
to
not
Ben.
believe this, but I took this seriously.
Well, I
Okay,
didn't- I
Oh,
don't
you'd
know.
be the first.
so my hair's serious too, though.
It's
Is
beautiful.
it sticking up in the back?
No, I think it's fine.
All right,
Number
let's hear
one.
it.
Number one.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Don't interrupt him.
If I put my hand up, can I
Rick,
interrupt?
you need to find your real estate attorney before you start
You are
looking
so
for a house.
smart.
That's number one.
Right.
That's
How-
crucial.
How come?
Well,
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to throw you off, but this is why I think, and maybe Kathy and Tony, who's an expert in this,
Well,
now,
because
a lot
what-
of the contracts are already signed by the time they visit us. We're like the low man on the
right.
totem
So
pole.
number two, do not
Ooh.
sign a purchase and sale until it's reviewed by your attorney.
Right.
Very good.
And
Yeah.
that's what happens. People get the real estate
They get
agent,
all
they
excited.
get excited, and you're going to lose this house. And
Right,
They
right,
start
right.
There's someone
arbitrarily
behind
signing.
you.
Yeah, then you got to backtrack because you got to go undo everything they didn't do.
right.
How about
Well, and a lot of people can't figure that out. We know Rick can, but once the P&S is signed, the purchase and sale
It's
agreement
pretty.
is signed.
It's pretty solid.
or even
yeah.
when the offer's signed, my hands are tied a little bit.
I know, but you.
I untie
Right.
them a little
We
bit.
used to call you Tricky Rick because you can figure it out.
Do you think that's complimentary as an attorney?
Yeah.
Tricky Rick? All right, so what happens if they
Of course. Are you kidding me?
I
That's
know.
what you want in an attorney. You want some filthy
Hey, how you doing? How
skullduggery.
you doing? What do you need a change for a
Right,
10?
yeah,
Here
yeah.
you go. Give me
Right.
Yeah,
Give me
he's
a
such
20.
a nice guy.
Yeah,
you got to
yeah.
give him the.
There you
you gotta
go.
give him
That's his-
some dirty names.
that
two
is
fives?
his-
All right, or 3 1s.
That's the way he works.
Yeah, I
he
know.
sucks
10,
you in.
20,
You know what?
90, 100. 10, 20, 30, 90,
I lull
100.
them a little bit to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Right.
back to your thought.
No, you don't.
No, I don't. So what happens if they've signed the offer? If you're selling a piece of property,
Right.
so does that bind a person in
Well,
Massachusetts?
yes.
Okay.
These
Of
are
course it
these are
does.
all legal
Why is
agreements.
he looking at me like
Right.
that?
Because he was surprised. He thought you didn't know.
I was horrified, Tony. That was a look of
All this
Obviously, I
time,
do
Rick
know.
doesn't know? What?
that was a look
I'm
of
just
abject
asking. I
horror.
wasn't sure which way.
Abject horror. I like that.
When they decide to make little modifications,
Yep.
have it reviewed again. Do
Right.
And
not-
then initial those. Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
Now, horror, and where is abject horror?
Oh, it's
Wait,
way out.
it's way
Okay,
out.
all right. I
Oh,
just want to
yeah.
make sure.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Now, Rick,
Yep.
don't waive your home inspection.
Oh, wow. He has learned a little
Yeah,
bit.
no,
I
you
mean-
should
Listen,
never.
what
Why
if
not?
I have an uncle that said that he can inspect the home
Well,
for me?
Kathy, and no offense intended, but
I
your
don't
uncle
have an
is
uncle
an
that
idiot. You know? Unless your uncle is a home inspector.
Right.
Well,
don't
we
use
had
your
that
uncle.
situation where a buyer had her uncle come do the home inspection.
Yeah.
The sellers of that property moved next door, and then she moved in, and the furnace doesn't work. And Rick
Right.
said, "Why are you calling me? You need to call your home inspector."
Wait, someone sold the house and moved next door to where they used to
Yeah,
live?
Yeah,
and
bad
it
move.
was so they didn't get
They
their,
deserve
one
everything
more
they
question.
get.
While you're here, one more question.
they didn't get all their stuff out. I'm like, well, they're next door. Just
They
throw
just
it over
throw
the fence or
Yeah,
whatever. But
sure.
so Rick said, well, you have to call your real estate agent or your home inspector. And
Right.
she said, well, my uncle told me I didn't need a home inspector.
Right.
Or the
banker.
banker may have told
They
her
Told
that.
it, right.
Yeah. The
So-
bank. Yeah.
So now she has a faulty furnace and she has no
recourse.
No recourse.
Except to shoot dirty looks over at the neighbor.
well, right.
Right.
Light her
And she
house
called
on fire.
me very
and-
annoyed. Like I
You
was-
did something.
I was the
about
Like you were the
Yeah.
uncle.
right. Right.
Or you were the lender that told her
Right.
not to have a home inspection.
Right.
And really, trust your real estate attorney over your real estate agent. The attorney has no vested interest in the transaction.
Very
You're
good.
paying them anyway.
Wow.
Wow.
You never even, we didn't say that as a
No,
fact.
I made that
That was
up.
your
So you're
yeah.
extrapolating
That was his
at this
inference.
point.
Yeah, that was the dot.
Can I extrapolate from that one?
Yeah.
Because I think we're going to fly through these.
We are.
So trust your real estate attorney, number one, and then your agent. Never trust the seller.
No.
The seller
No.
does not know it.
No.
What are you rolling your eyes about?
Well, you can trust a
No.
seller. You can't do a blanket do not trust any seller. Like you can't do that.
Well, not that they're not
It's
that
not
they're
untrustworthy, but
right,
they're
but they
trying
might be giving wrong
you put,
information.
you put your team together and you surround yourself
they
with
can-
smart
right.
professionals, and you don't have to worry about trusting the
I have
seller.
5 examples.
Well, let's
we won't
hear
do
'em.
them. One.
Yeah.
A, B, C, and D.
A, B, C, D, and 5. One was he said it's a 3-family.
Oh, right.
It's not a.
It
3
might be a 3-family to him.
right,
but
so
not
it
to
might
the
be
city.
assessed
Not
as a
legally,
3-family. But
right.
you got to go. The assessors don't. They make
Right.
stuff up.
So-
they just want as much tax.
So
as
whether
possible.
whether you trust the person or not, you can't necessarily trust what they're saying.
Right.
Right.
Trust,
Another
but
one.
verify.
We had a seller of a condo said there's no special assessments on this. We were at closing when he owes $7,000.
Did he know?
He knew there was one, but he didn't know the other one was built into his condo fee.
I don't really think that sellers are like out and out lie. Some people
I
just don't
did say,
understand.
maybe you guys are right. Don't trust the information given to you.
Yes.
How's that?
There you go.
Yeah.
Not
Is that better?
necessarily
Yeah.
the
Is that
person
better?
information.
I didn't know you guys were so
That's
politically
the-
correct,
I
but
like
now I
that,
feel
yeah.
better.
no,
now.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's the lipstick on a pig approach.
You de-escalated that, Rick, and you didn't make it personal. Good job.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
He should have made it personal. Damn, I'll try another route.
Where else should you not have it personal or personalized?
The bedroom.
Ooh.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Just a
What?
transactional.
It's just a transaction.
Yes.
yeah.
Just a
Leave,
transaction.
leave the money on
Yes.
the bedside. And,
Yes.
Okay.
Forget this ever
Right. We're
happened.
not going to mention what we saw before the show.
And in the
Oh,
future,
yeah.
speak kindly of me.
In exchange for the $300.
That's right.
Rick, you know what else you need to do?
I'm listening.
You need to purchase title insurance.
Oh, my God.
Owner's title insurance.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, that's the only title insurance that matters to you.
To you.
And
right.
that's the only one that's optional.
The lender requires you to get owner's
You have to.
lender's
so are you
title
able,
insurance.
all right, if they make you get it, can you piggyback that policy?
Yes, you can, and you get a discounted
I don't
rate.
know about you guys. I'm learning a lot today.
Listen,
So you
this
get
This
a
might
is,
be
discount.
the only show we have to do. We might be done after this.
but you know what? When someone says to you, I don't want to pay $1,500 for owner's title and title insurance. What I say is it's a one-time premium for the lifetime that you own the house. It has an inflationary rider, so if your house is worth $1 million in 10 years, you're covered for your equity in the property if there is a title defect. But they say, well, then I'm just going to come back to you and sue you. We rely on the
Good luck finding us.
Yeah. Well, you
Outside of
can
that-
be found. Kathy, I'm not so sure.
outside of not finding us.
Maybe I should call the Holtzhauser law
She's
office. Good luck finding Kathy.
Kathy's an exercise in where on earth
Where's
is
Waldo?
was Carmen Miranda.
Yeah. But we rely on the Registry of Deeds documents, which are public record, and there could be a mistake.
Well, let me ask you this then, because I'm
in
learning
the
a lot
public
today.
records.
So this owner's title insurance might cover a little bit more than what we are finding out with the title. Is that what you,
Yeah.
Is that what
so
everyone's saying?
if down the road you go to sell the house and they say that there's a defect on the title, whether it's after you bought the house or before you bought the house,
Right.
it has a
It's inherent in the
forward.
house.
It's a
Right.
forward moving
Well, let me ask
document.
the group this, since you guys brought it up. Should a broker tell a buyer not to get owner's title?
No, because
Never.
Really?
What if,
All right.
What if
Go ahead.
they have a title defect and now they're going to go back to the broker and said, you
You
advised
used me not to do
Yes.
So we can no longer list this house and I didn't get owner's title insurance, right?
Right.
Can't be listed.
Don't you wish
Can we talk about the smart? I don't remember his name, but we had a smart buyer, young, like 25 years old, a couple weeks ago, buying a
Was that Brett?
No.
No, I just made up a name.
Yeah, we don't use names. We protect the innocent.
But he's buying a like a $700,000 house, and Rick started to explain to him the owner's title insurance, and he said, "Well, I'm a big Dave Ramsey fan, and my father would kick my bleep if I didn't get owner's title insurance."
Right.
Dave Ramsey keeps an eye on every
Yeah,
nickel.
so and if he's telling you to get owner's title insurance, he
Then
doesn't
you
he doesn't
better.
want you to eat,
Right.
but you need owner's title insurance.
Would you like to have Tourette's sometime when
I
someone...
have Tourette's.
You do.
Yeah.
It's lucky
I
you don't
just
get all
blur-
the same phone calls I get. Because sometimes people say, what do you think? Should I get owner's title insurance and all? So...
I say, you know what? You can talk to attorney Rick Carter. And he
Yes.
pulls out the big guns.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When I'm brought in.
Kick it right upstairs.
Oh, boy.
And
yeah.
if they don't get owner's title insurance, whatever.
You
It's
Think
can't-
about that,
yeah.
though. You're buying a million dollar piece of property.
Right.
And now you're going to skimp on something like that?
Right.
$1,500 worth?
Yeah.
That's foolish.
or whatever it is. I
Pennies.
made up that
I know,
number.
but whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a percentage of
All right, we're
it.
going to have
Right.
to have Ben do a little
Rick,
fact checking
this
here. You're starting
one's-
to make up numbers here.
This one's pretty important.
Okay,
All right,
let's
I'm
hear it.
listening.
What number are we on?
Okay, number 6.
Wow.
Even if you've sent the information previously, send whatever your mortgage company is asking you
Yeah,
for.
yeah.
What I like to do is keep a folder after you've sent it.
Don't
because
argue.
Guess what? They're
They're
going to
gonna-
ask again.
And don't argue.
now, let me
Don't
ask
argue.
you this
Send
related
it.
to that.
Because if they had it, they wouldn't ask you for it again.
Great tip. But if your borrower's grandmother didn't have to do that,
Right.
do you not have that precludes you from having
Well,
to do it? Is
right,
that true?
yeah.
If the grandmother is still alive
Yep.
and can sign an affidavit that she did not have to do that,
And
then
that she'll indemnify
yeah.
the buyer if there's any issue.
Absolutely.
Okay, because we've had that
Right.
before. Well,
Yeah.
my grandmother, who probably bought in the 60s,
60s. Yeah.
said they didn't have to do that.
Right. And they probably didn't because
Not
it,
back in the
it was a
60s.
handshake, right?
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
It was
they
a high
weren't-
five.
There weren't as many filthy, lying people around then.
Right.
Right. I thought we determined, though, we
Yeah.
do trust our sellers, though.
We
They-
do.
Yeah,
Not-
okay. Don't roll your
You're
eyes.
being fresh now.
No, I'm just
You're being-
reinforcing that we do have.
No, they're trying to
You're
put the
being-
property in the best light, so they may
Embellish.
omit or embellish.
Can I ask you guys this? Speaking of that, can you Photoshop pictures?
No.
Of course you
Really?
can't.
All right. Well, I'm learning a little
Because
bit. today.
guess what? They're going to find out when they show up at the house. It looks like a palace online,
Right.
and they show up at the house and it's a dump.
Sure.
They're going to figure it out pretty darn
There's a
quick.
great picture of-
Misrepresentation of the property.
There's a great picture on Google. You look different examples for this. They have this picture of this pool, and just the effect of the photography looks like it's like 300 yards.
Right.
And then they say, well, here's how the pool really is. It's the size of this desk there.
Right,
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And the other thing is,
It's like online
I'm going to
dating.
go offline. Yeah,
like online
that's
dating.
exactly where I was going to go with that.
You seemed a little smaller in your picture.
Well, do you guys know that they have filters that like I can take a selfie of myself,
Yeah.
and you guys are going to get what you get here.
Right.
But you can take a filter that like smooths over your
Face,
face.
sure.
can it drop a few pounds? Or?
Yeah.
Yes,
All right.
without a doubt.
Oh.
But I see some people on Facebook
Yeah.
that use these filters, and then when you see them, because you're like, whoa, like,
Yeah.
no.
No, you
Yeah.
don't look
They're not-
like that.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. I don't understand what, that's
Well,
another,
But
that's psychology, right?
right.
But
if
that's
you-
like anything. You ever see a cheeseburger in an ad?
oh,
and then get a cheeseburger?
delicious.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then you get there and you go like, whoa, that
that
looks
It
like
looks
a
really
looks
good.
like a sponge.
You don't have the steam
Yeah,
because it's been cooked for a
Yeah.
while.
I've done fast food commercials in the past, and I've been
Whoa.
on the sets where they dress the food, and it's amazing.
Do they make you eat the
They
food?
shellac.
They have a
things.
spit bucket.
I was going to say.
We had to do a
no
thing
wonder
with French
we
fries.
don't
And we had a
trust.
spit bucket.
Really?
Yeah,
I would
and
be
they put
swallowing it all.
they will put toothpicks in the fries to make them stand up straight,
Oh.
and they'll spray stuff on
Yeah,
the
if
burger to
they're
make
doing
it shine.
Magazine photography.
Yeah.
you might want to shellac that.
Shellac
bun.
that. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're learning a lot of tips
Yeah.
today.
Yeah, don't
Well,
trust.
Rick, this
Don't
one,
trust anyone.
Right, don't. Right,
That's
well,
how we're ending the show.
right.
Number
It's like the
7.
guy who catches his friend in bed with his wife, and he
Yeah.
goes, "Are you going to believe your best friend or your lion eyes?"
Well, you can't
Right,
hide
Right,
them.
you
Right.
can't hide
You can't
those lion
hide the
eyes.
lion eyes.
Well, number 7 falls
Close to that.
squarely in the don't trust anyone.
Yeah.
If anyone asks you to wire money,
Oh, my.
verify that
That
the
is so
request
good.
is legitimate. The best way to verify it is don't do it unless you speak to someone you have previously spoken to,
Very good.
like
Yeah.
real estate attorney Rick Carter.
Wow.
Right, and make sure
Look at Kathy.
and
the email is
Parallel-
the
Talking
correct.
about next week.
Paralegal extraordinaire.
when I'm
Kathy
away, they
Holzhauser.
might give the information to Rick.
Yeah,
but
make sure the
typically he
email is
steps out.
exactly the email.
Oh, right.
Right.
Well, and this is it. Don't click on anything in an
Anything that you
email
don't know.
ever.
Right.
Don't call the
I
phone
just-
number
right.
they're telling you to call.
I just got one from the United States Postal Service, and I've never gotten a thing from the United States Postal Service.
like a letter.
It
even?
was an
A
email
phone? Oh.
that
Oh,
said we delivered a package to you.
Yeah.
To track that package, press here,
Right.
and I go, "Hey, there's no package. I haven't got a package."
Right.
But now
It
everyone's
looked a little bit off.
curious.
Yeah, but they go, "Huh? I wonder what it is," and I just don't do it.
Right.
Should we talk about the girl who just did the Social Security, got scammed by them?
Which girl?
We had
Maryland.
Oh,
we
Was
had
it Maryland?
close.
close. So should we talk about that one? Or so?
Go ahead.
All right, no, not with that attitude. I think we'll move on.
No,
You
go
don't think
ahead.
that's an
What happened?
She turned.
I'm
she
intrigued.
turned it into a.
It just
She went a
after
whole
a while.
different-
It's very obvious what they're doing, and she had about 10,
Let's talk about
10
it.
clues. All right, so she writes to the Social Security number or administration
Yeah.
emails. She gets a call back and says, "We can't process your loan or whatever it was application because you have money laundering claims against you."
Money laundering.
Money
Yeah.
laundering.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh my god, what do I do? What do I
Right.
do?"
What I would.
Yeah, I would be laughing. I go, "Okay."
Yeah.
But she goes, "All right, what do I do? What do I do?" And they suggested that she get some money
Yeah.
through gift cards.
Oh yeah.
And
at Target.
And she
at Stop
did
and
it.
Shop.
Yeah.
So she goes down to Stop and Shop.
Yeah.
She did
Gets
it.
gift cards.
And the girl who was probably 18 years old, and we're not mocking her, so a lot of
No,
people
you
get it. Okay. The girl, 18 years old, probably at Stop and Shop, says, "Are you sure about this? This sounds like a scam."
Right.
And she had the guy on the phone. He goes, supposedly from the Social Security
Yeah, yeah,
Administration, says, "Just tell him you're sending it to your grandchildren," and continue with
And
getting
she
it.
continued
And she
doing it. So
All right. This person deserves what she got.
And then it gets worse. So,
it gets worse.
yeah, so they say, "All right." I said, "Well, did you forward those to them?" No, they had me take off the back and read them the number.
Oh.
Yeah. And she lost, a few $1,000s.
I bet she did.
Yeah. So
Who does that?
I know. So
maybe she did have money laundering.
yeah, maybe there is some issues
Maybe
going
this-
on.
Well,
right.
it's
Yeah.
probably fun. They must have been hungry people, right? If they wanted
Yeah, to
Stop
get
and
Stop
Shop.
and Shop,
Yeah.
sure.
So I'm sure it's fine.
So is
Right.
that's okay.
I had a call from the IRS once, and he goes, "You owe tons of money," and I go, "I do," and he goes, "Do not interrupt me," and I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay, go ahead.
And he's like, you listen to all my instructions. And in the middle
Can I
of
say
it,
one thing?
I go,
You don't
"Excuse
tell
me."
her not to interrupt me.
Yeah.
Every sentence
No way.
thereafter, you
Also, it's nearly impossible for her not to.
Ask Ronell about this. And then I go, oh, wait a minute. I'm just going to cut to the chase. So you want my credit card information, right? He goes, do not interrupt me.
I have a pitch. Don't. When do you need my social security
First
number?
of
I have
all,
it right now.
I don't think the IRS talks to you like that.
No.
No.
And if I owed money, I'm guessing I would have got something in the mail.
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, they
Yes.
always send duplicates in the mail.
Right.
Mhm.
I
They
don't think
send
they
one
call.
to you and your. No, they don't call.
No, they don't call.
No.
So
They
Don't ask me how I know
Alright.
this.
They don't even know
I
how to
just
use
know
the
it.
phone, Kathy.
no, they would never call you. Do not interrupt me.
Rick, you know what else is important?
Yeah. I love this.
You need to be sure that you understand all the amounts needed at closing and have bank checks with you for those amounts.
Made out to who?
To whom?
Sorry. Wow. Wow.
See what I mean?
Wow.
See what I mean about
To
Ed?
whom?
Now you know why we haven't had him
To
as a guest
yourself.
before.
To yourself.
Yes.
And then you will sign it over.
Yes.
And why do we do that? Because it's for their own protection in case the closing gets canceled and then they have a check payable to the seller, right?
They can just,
See, I'm still learning.
Yeah.
no, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
But-
You're
You
doing
know
pretty
what I
good.
think that this exercise is?
Yep.
And this is Ed's going away gift to us.
He was kind of
is-
hoping for a watch.
No, he's teaching us how to go number one, number
I know,
two,
I
number
know.
three, and he's teaching
No, I
us
thought we
how to
did pretty
go
good last
go
week.
through them meticulously
'cause-
in a quick.
Right. We're
orderly
at
fashion.
23 minutes and we've already.
Right. So
been-
this
I
is his
thought we-
parting gift to
I
us.
thought we got through the top 86 last week.
You got through three.
We started
I
at
think.
80,
Right.
but,
Oh,
but-
yeah.
all right.
Listen, I'm baffled that anyone's learned anything from this show.
Well, Tony.
Wow, that's harsh.
Tony, you actually have learned a lot.
I have.
You
No,
could
I have,
actually
I could do
review a
closings.
purchase
Yeah,
and
I
sale
could.
agreement.
Yeah.
I don't know
No,
about the
people
closing.
learn a lot of
but-
stuff.
No, it's a very
The
smart
last
show.
radio station told me I was a genius.
You are a genius.
Who
And
told
why?
you
Why
that?
was that?
Because you have me on the show with you.
And he's running with it.
Yeah,
Tony, you may not be aware of this one.
I am.
Everything must be out of your
What?
house and it needs to be broom clean
Broom
on
clean.
the day of the closing.
Yes.
Oh, so you can't do it a few
by
days
the
later?
closing
Before
time.
the closing.
Right.
How's that?
Right.
Interesting.
I don't
And-
want my closing at 10.
Unless there was something detailed in the purchase and sale, you
That-
can't make a decision. I'm going to leave
No,
this for
that's-
the
you
next
can't.
owner.
Right.
Yes.
And you can't make a decision of when you're leaving the property.
No.
No.
Is there a time on the day of the?
Yeah.
Is it what?
Typically, it's like noontime on the
Noontime.
day of the closing.
Right.
Right.
And often people will do a pre-closing inspection just to
Yeah, a
verify
walkthrough.
that the property is ready for
And how
closing.
how far before the actual closing is the
Within
walkthrough?
24
hour.
hours.
An hour.
Sometimes.
Well, they usually go to the walkthrough and then they
Then
come
come
to
to
us.
the closing to make sure.
Yeah, we had that
everything's on the up and up.
closing and Lowell registry, and the first-time buyer, he didn't know when he should step on people's toes or not. And he says, they left a couple items in the house. I go, all right, well, what they
Are they good items?
I know. Are they
Yeah.
plants? He goes, no, every single item. They haven't moved anything. He wasn't sure if he was supposed
Poor
to tell me that. I
guy.
know. We're at the registry of deeds. So
And this one is a recommendation. Don't plan to move in on the day of the closing.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
you can, but it takes a lot of
but-
strategy.
you have to make
I-
sure that everybody understands your expectations.
Right. And this one, I said,
Don't
is
have-
a recommendation. I
Yeah.
think it can work out very well to have the mover come and just
Yep.
hold on to the items, and it's not a big expense.
And don't
with-
plan on having Comcast come the morning of your closing
Right.
date, or
Right.
the hardwood
Well,
floor
the
guys
floors
that
need to get
come
waxed
in.
at 10:30 when we
Um,
haven't even done the closing yet.
Right.
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 Rick,
So
I've got a bonus 11th item.
Wow.
Wow.
An orchid makes a nice housewarming
Yeah.
gift.
you had to. You had to do that. It does make a nice gift.
Sure, if you don't have a vagina.
And
I
you
know
had to
it
do
would be
that.
fine.
That's too bad. This show is going to be on every social media outlet until that last
Until you
sentence.
say the V word.
There's
again.
100% nothing wrong with that word.
Tony, how can I share this now?
No, go ahead.
No,
Oh.
I can't
You didn't
share the
say it.
episode.
You didn't say
But-
it. He
Take
did.
it right off. Just delete it.
He can't.
That was funny when he came in. One of our broker friends, so excited about the show, and he says, "Oh, I was going to show that to every customer, past, present, future."
Tony ruined
till the
it.
V word came out.
I still don't understand why that's such a sexist thing.
Well, and he brought up
that's a bad word.
Do you guys want me to
Nothing wrong.
tell the scrotum story
Yeah,
again?
please do. I love that
No, we
story.
gotta
I love
have Ed
that
come
one.
back to hear the scrotum story because that's number 12 as a bonus.
All
Best
right.
jokes of the year.
Yes.
The scrotum joke came
The
out.
scrotum story was a good one.
Yeah,
that's what
yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah. I had you
Wow.
guys hanging.
So we covered a lot
We
in
got a lot
27
today.
minutes, just
Yeah.
under.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Are we done?
Did I miss any big ones?
No, I think you hit every single one.
No.
I think, the real estate attorney's important. Follow their guidance.
You know what the sad part is? 2 years we've been doing this. You get
And
10,
that's what he
10
got.
10 items.
I boiled down.
That's all we ever talk about.
No, but we've had some really cool guests on. We could talk about it on our New Year's
Yeah.
Eve.
Yeah.
Like, we've had the defense guy.
Yeah, he was very good.
That teaches you how to be aware of your surroundings and
Then that
Stay in tune.
organizer lady.
the organizer.
She was
Eileen,
great, yeah.
she was amazing. And then the stager girl.
Yeah.
They have a knack to figure it. Like we couldn't walk into a house and stage it. You know,
Right.
that's just their talent.
That's what they
That's
do.
their creative talent.
When you said stager girl, my mind went
That's
elsewhere.
different. Yeah,
Of
no,
course it
that's-
did. Of
You were
course
looking
it
for the
did.
poll and all that.
Yeah,
Is that what
yeah,
you're
yeah.
thinking?
Yeah.
All right.
Did
all
you
right.
hear that story? There was a bachelorette party, and they went to a strip club, male strip club, and
They
guy was on a
did?
pole, and the pole broke and fell on grandma.
I hope she's okay.
Nah, I don't know that she is.
That's quite a story.
That
though.
is a good story.
That-
Hey, if you're gonna
what a-
die, that's a great
that's
way to
what
go
it is.
out.
Litigation will come out of that.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's gonna be pretty
First,
good.
she's run over
Naked
by a
guys
reindeer.
all over
guys
her.
on grandma, and who's,
Well,
who's
you-
responsible?
You're glossing over the
lead?
lead, which is grandma's at the strip club with the bachelorette party.
her.
That made perfect sense to me for some reason.
Grandmas have rights.
Didn't upset you. Oh, I have no problem with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
grandmas' lives matter.
Of course they do. Keep living until you don't, man.
Especially if we're going to die of the coronavirus,
Of
right?
course.
All right.
Live each day.
When
so
is that
next week we're
happening?
going to do a lot.
And
What's that?
vote
The coronavirus. When are we dying?
Whenever
Oh,
we
thir-
could be
it could be
dying any
anytime.
day.
Thursday.
now. Yeah.
Thursday.
Thursday,
All
I
right.
think.
I'm hoping that next week, next
Yeah.
Monday, I want to die. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to bother
you want the
updating
week
my
off.
calendar if I'm not going
No.
to be here.
Put your out of office on.
Out of life message.
Out of office forever.
Well, I think we did pretty good
Yeah,
today.
yeah, that was
That's
awesome.
awesome.
That was
Maybe
great
you
show.
We
can
like
that.
to keep it tight.
Yeah.
Keep it
And here
tight.
I was the whole time thinking Ed wasn't paying attention at all.
No, I don't look like I'm doing much over there.
you just
but
look like you're sitting there pushing buttons and telling us don't say that.
Don't say that. You can't say
Shaking
that.
his head at us.
All right, thanks for joining us here on the Real Estate
Yeah,
House
yeah,
Party.
that
Ed,
was
you're going to
Ed.
come back?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
next 10? All right. Or did you
Right.
just,
Well,
or you just have the
That's
gems
it.
for this one?
He shot his wad right
no,
there.
you know,
That's
what,
it.
you know what we'll do? I'll
that?
come up with one more and we'll go back to the old format. And I'm covered.
All
Okay.
right.
Awesome.
All right, thanks for joining us here on the Real Estate House Party. Paralegal extraordinaire Kathy Olshauser.
Yeah.
You might not see her next week. Ed Sullivan. Hopefully we see him in the studio
Yeah, I'm not
audience.
coming
Yeah.
next week if
No,
Kathy's
no,
not
No,
here.
no.
No.
Tony V.
Good luck, whatever you do, Ed.
You did a great
Thank you.
job at Cabot Theater the other night. You got any shows coming up you want to not promote?
I'll be in New Hampshire at Pittman's Freight House in Laconia on Friday, this
Nice.
coming Friday, and then Saturday, I don't know where I am.
All right.
Somewhere good.
I'll be
Check
doing-
your calendar.
I don't know where I
Yeah,
am.
don't
but somewhere
check, don't
good.
check Tony's website.
Somewhere. I'm so. Oh yeah, no, Templeton, Mass.
Check your
Oh.
Palm Pilot.
Yeah, yeah,
See
yeah.
what
Not
you're
that
supposed to be.
good.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right.
I don't know anything.
Ben's saying I
Adios.
can't take this anymore.
Yeah. Get these people
have a
out
good
of
day.
here.
Bye-bye. I got through all my notes, too.
Good job.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Café, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.